legend, no wait, machine that this island has ever seen.
The engine sighed. They had heard James's boasting several times before.
I am definitely correct. I haven't been late this week with my trains. Some of you can't keep schedule like me.
Well, that's because we've had easy jobs to do lately.
Yeah? So just shut up and worry about keeping that piece of brass on your boiler clean.
Not just my dome, all of me.
Come along, James, we must get going.
Now we can get some rest. At last.
Hey, I know James is boastful and everything, but to be fair to him, he does work as hard as we do.
We know. It's just his attitude gets too much sometimes.
Oh. I see. Next morning, James was waiting at a station with a mineral train.
Ah, look at all the people inside the station. All stopped to look at my lovely paintwork.
At that moment, Luke arrived. Hi, James. Nice day, isn't it?
Yes, a nice day to show off my red paints.
Luke secretly frowned and decided to change the subject. Hey, James, no offense or anything, but I've been noticing that you haven't been concentrating fully on your work lately. I think you should focus more on the track than your paintwork to keep out of trouble. James was furious.
Me? Not focusing on the track? Rubbish! Now if you'll excuse me, I must be off.
And he puffed crossly away. Luke wasn't offended. He had handled situations like this before. A long while later, James arrived at the docks. Tyler and the Fat Controller were there waiting for him.
James, I have an important job for you. You are to pull the skiing school special. A class from the school near Marin are going on a school tour to the Greenfield branch line.
James was very excited.
Tyler, please find a coach for James. There should be one somewhere in the sidings.
Yes, sir.
And take a wash down while you're at it. You smell like fish.
James laughed. He was only lucky that the Fat Controller hadn't heard his rude remark.
Find a coach. What a reason. I've been working here all day, and it's safe to say that all the coaches were taken for other trains this morning.
Don't argue with the Fat Controller's order, Tyler. We must try and find one. Tyler ventured further down the side. All that was there were trucks and crates. Then Tyler gasped. There on the track next to him was old Slow Coach. She was dozing happily beside the breakdown train. Tyler was shocked. He had never seen old Slow Coach before.
Hello? Who are you?
My name is Old Slow Coach. I used to be a hat for the workmen at the seaside. After that old war caught fire, I then became used as a work coach ever since.
Well then, I've got a surprise for you.
What's that?
James needs a coach for a school special he's taking, and you're the only coach here.
Really? I haven't taken passengers for years. Oh, thank you, Tyler.
Just following controller's orders.
Tyler coupled up to old Slow Coach and shunted her away to James.
Hurry up, you tiny be late.
Just be careful with old slow coach, James. Unlike the other coaches, she's very delicate, so don't rush.
Pah! What do you know about pulling coaches, you smelly old box on wheels?
And James puffed away, too fast, bashing old slow coach into his tender as he went.
Ow! Don't go so fast.
But James didn't listen. Tyler was now seething with fury, but he decided to keep calm and went away to do some shunting. Soon James arrived at Marron Station. The class and the two teachers quickly got on board. Old slow coach was feeling very unhappy after our uncomfortable start at the docks, but she was pleased to be pulling passengers instead of workmen for a change. James was enjoying himself. He sped happily down the line and was thinking about what he'd say to the others that night. Soon he arrived at the points leading to the Greenfield branch line and puffed quickly down it. The Greenfield branch line ran through a countryside with farms on both sides of the line. It ended at a little station near a village where the school tour was going. James was still enjoying himself mostly, but he was heading for trouble. On the road near the line, a van was having trouble. It spluttered and choked along the road. The driver, Ian Davies, the local farrier, was concerned.
Oh dear, I'd say I'd better bring you to the garage. You need repairing, old dear.
Ian was approaching a level crossing. The crossing had no gates. As he crossed it, his vehicle suddenly broke down completely. He tried to start it again, but it was no good. Fortunately, a signal box was nearby, and the signalman had seen everything from the window. Then, he heard James's whistle echoing through the countryside.
Oh, bother, that's James coming. He'll have to wait until I help this fellow out.
So he quickly set the signal to danger and rushed out to help Ian. Meanwhile, James, unaware of the trouble ahead, was passing the signal when clunk! The signal dropped just as he passed it. But neither James or his crew noticed it. But old slow coach had.
In a bit of trouble, eh?
Yeah, please, if you could just push her from behind and I'll start the engine. We might get her across.
The signal felt danger just there.
Why?
I do. Look!
James and his crew could now see Ian's van blocking the track.
Stop! Stop!
Get out of that van now! James is coming up fast!
Ian panicked and frantically grabbed for the door. But it was too late to do anything. With full force, James hit the van. His wheels screeched noisily as he pushed the van along the rails. Old slow coach and the passengers were both dangerously behind. James's brakes finally clicked in and he stopped. It was a terrible mess. Luckily, old slow coach and the passengers weren't hurt, but it was impossible to say the same for James, and worst of all, Ian. The signalman hurried over.
What are you doing here? I set the signal to danger!
Well, you must have set it right when we were passing it. An engine can't possibly stop in that length of time.
Please, there are more things to worry about than arguing. We need to rescue Ian and call an ambulance. And if I control
James's driver and the signalman knew that old Slowcoach was right, so they ran back to the signal box to call for help. James was traumatized by the crash. He remained quiet for a very long time. A few hours later, help had arrived. Ian was unconscious due to the crash, and so an ambulance had arrived to bring him to hospital. And Bertie the bus had come to bring James's passengers home. Tyler was sent to rescue James and old Slowcoach, but Tyler was still cross with James for what he had said to him earlier.
So, any rude remarks to say before I help, James?
No, I'm sorry, Tyler. Truly I am. Please do your best to help us. You are very strong for your size.
This made Tyler feel much better, and he happily buckled up. Old Slowcoach was delighted to see him again. And with a mighty heave, Tyler pulled James clear of the wreckage.
Oh, thank you, Tyler. You are my hero.
He's helping keep the railway running.
Bless my foil. Thank you, Tyler. I'll never make fun of you again.
That night, James was staying at the sheds. He was to be sent to the steamworks next morning for repairs. The news of his accident had spread around to the other engines, and they found it very funny.
Fancy that! Crashing into a van! I can't get over the silliness!
All because James didn't look at the track. This was quite expected out of his boastfulness anyway.
It's just what Luke predicted. James focusing more on his shiny paintwork and all. Aren't I right, Luke?
Yeah, I know. But it's not that funny, if you ask me. The laughing died down and everyone looked at Luke. They were puzzled by this. No offense, guys, but I'd like to point out that in the crash, someone was severely injured, several others could have been too, and a van was nearly crushed. I think that's something to consider other than teasing James. Luke then began to worry that everyone would glare at him in disgust, but fortunately, they all quite understood. James, I did give you advice earlier today, didn't I?
Yes, you did. And I ignored it. I'm sorry about that, Luke.
That's alright, James. Heck, I used to be red too, and I was very boastful at first because of it. But hey, we live and learn, don't we? All the engines agreed, and James secretly made a vow never to focus more on his paintwork than the tracks again.